Friday, August 25th, 2023. Get the cruise control on and go. Camera's off a little bit. Kind of going this way. Needs to be going more that way. That's all right. At least it's holding up. Thanks to Paulie P. Got the trucker mount on the DigiByte. Shouldn't fall off anymore as it falls off. That's kind of what's been happening this morning. I gotta be careful while I'm driving, I guess. You know, little things falling apart and breaking. I gotta be careful. All right, a little foggy out too. The fog of war. That's what we're in, the fog of war. A lot of things happening behind the scenes, a lot of things happening in front of us, in front of our faces. Well, the big news, gotta bring it up, gotta put it out there. The Trump mugshot. I mean, I heard Dana Lash talking about this last week. She's got her own talk show, but I listen to it at night before I fall asleep. Falling asleep with Dana, not a bad thing. So anyway, she's very witty, very smart person. Used to work for the spokesperson for the NRA and out of St. Louis, got her own talk show, had a radio show for a long time. Anyway, I listened to her on the radio at night. And last week, she was talking about, I'll be so disappointed if Trump doesn't capitalize on this. If he has to have a mugshot, that thing should be everywhere. It should be on coffee cups. I want to see it on flags. I want to see it everywhere. T-shirts. So I'd be disappointed if he doesn't do that. Well, sure enough, got the mugshot. I don't know what they put on these fields, but it is just nauseating. There's a story about that from last night. Humidity, stinky fields, high heat, and strong old fashions don't always mix. Let's just say that. Should have saved it for happy hour. Started a little too early yesterday. Man, I was just like, whoa. After the show, Blind Dave's show yesterday, let's hash it out. Gosh darn it, man, an eyelash. It go right in my eye. Dana Lash? Eyelash. Holy cow, this thing bothered me. So yeah, after the show, you know, it's hot and humid. Had the bar opened up, you know, and had the fan going, but no air conditioning or anything going. And yesterday here, it got to, I don't know, 98, 99 maybe. The discomfort index, whatever they want to call it. Add in the humidity and it feels like 115 or higher. And by the time I was done with that show, after having a few old fashions and the heat, the humidity, all my rambling, and the smell of the field that was blowing in, I stood up and I was like, whoa, I'm in trouble. Because I sat down at the end of the show and talked a little bit afterwards, and holy cow, didn't feel too hot. Bad combination. Man's got to know his limitations. Look at that thing. Gosh darn it. So anyway, back to the marketing of Trump. I mean, it's almost as if everything is a Teflon Don. Nothing sticks. Everything you throw at him, all of the indictments, all of the Russia, you know, all that garbage that we went through for 4 years, the impeachments, everything. All it's done is make him stronger because he comes back counterpunching and trolls them right back. Because what did he do? This mugshot, holy cow. I mean, classic, absolutely classic. Like him or not, the guy markets it, and then last night he posts on Twitter for the first time since January 2021. Because of course, remember, he was banned from Twitter because, you know, he's inciting a riot. Revolution. It was the biggest revolution ever, the greatest revolution. And he was inciting it in January. So he got removed from Twitter at the time, and then Elon Musk, when he bought Twitter, reinstated Trump's account. Trump never posted on it. Last night was the first time Trump ever posted in over, well, 2.5+ years. And he posts his mugshot with, I don't even know what it was. It says, you know, we will not surrender or something, or no surrender or something like that. Had the date of the mugshot on it, and it's just, oh my gosh. Brilliant marketing. I mean, absolutely takes the fire out of, if you're a Republican candidate, you know, trying to become the nominee for president, how do you compete with this? I mean, he sucks all the energy out of the room. I mean, they have nothing left. I mean, they have no breath. He's absorbed it all. There's nothing. that they can do at this point. He's larger than life. I mean, it's just this, it's like watching a movie. I mean, it really is. And unfortunately, there are some devastating scenes in the movie, but if you step back and you're like off planet watching all this happen, I mean, it's like a big movie. You can't plan it any differently or any better. I mean, it's crazy. Looks like they're doing some work on the fiber lines out here. Yeah, we have fiber out here. Crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's phenomenal what's happening. It really is. It's mind-blowing, I guess, if you really start looking at it. And I heard that, I don't know, I got to get better source on, or information on this, because I heard yesterday that the one lawsuit about the stolen documents, the mishandled documents, is basically thrown out at this point, because the guy, what's his name, Jack Smith, or Jack, I don't know what his name is, anyway, that attorney, that prosecutor who brought the charges against Trump about the documents, actually had it done in a grand jury, was it in DC or New York, and then moved the case to Florida and tried to, try it in Florida when the grand jury was from a different area, and that's not kosher, and the judge is so it kind of looks like that case could actually be done, thrown out. I don't know. Nothing's done until it's done. Yep, they're digging. So, yeah, the whole Trump thing, I mean, talk about just steal the thunder. Yesterday, the BRICS, we saw the BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China. What's the other one? Does the S stand for something, or is that just plural? South Korea? No, that's not South Korea. What is it? I don't know. Anyway, they had their meeting, and roll this window down. They had their meeting, and there was all these rumors about a gold-backed BRICS currency, and it seems like everything I can gather, and a lot of times, it's translation, so how true is it? But it looks like what's coming out of this big BRICS meeting is the push is to not use the dollar. I mean, we kind of knew that, but at least, they're formalizing that and saying, hey, we want to continue to make moves away from the dollar and use our own currencies. And we've seen them doing that. So that's not going to stop. The thing that could happen is if they start dumping the dollar, because some of these nations, they hold dollars in reserve, treasuries, bonds, essentially. And if they start dumping those, that throws them back onto the market, and who's going to be the buyer? Who wants to buy that stuff? Who is the recipient? Who's going to take it? Well, I would think that if we don't have any investors or companies that want to take them, Federal Reserve will just buy them back. That's really all they can do. They'll just print dollars to pay it off, which is crazy. But that's what the end game is. You're going to print until oblivion. You're just going to keep printing and printing and printing as long as you need to. I think they're going to have to start doing it again to stimulate the economy, because you just don't see that rollover of money that is necessary to keep the economy going. So they have to infuse more money into it, and that's not the way to handle it. But when you're running at the end of a Ponzi scheme, that's kind of what happens. So expect that, I would think. Some form of hyperinflation. And it could go the other way. You could go into a whole depressionary style, retraction of the money supply, deflation, that kind of thing. I guess that could happen, and then everybody gets their assets stolen from them because they can't pay the bills, because your asset, your house, your land, car, that underlies the loan that you owe to the bank. And if you can't make your payments, and sorry, you're locked in. You said you can make these payments. Yeah, but you decreased the monetary supply by 50%. So there's no money out there to be able to pay anything back with. Too bad, you signed. You said you'd pay it. But I paid 29 years on my mortgage. Only got one left. Too bad. Come up with the money and pay it off, or we're taking the whole thing. That's what they'll do. And it could go that route. If it does, then, man, not a good situation. People will lose everything. Unless you've got an asset in your possession that you can hold outside of the system, something that exists outside the system that will continue to hold value no matter what happens. If the economy collapses, the government collapses, it's not tied to that government. Like the dollar is tied to the government, Federal Reserve note. You know, it has to be, if our government fails, if the United States corporation fails, then that thing's worthless. It's like Confederate notes. The Confederacy fell, and all the money they printed up, it's nothing. It's a relic. It's just a historical piece. It has no purchasing power anymore. Same thing could happen, so it's important. That's why gold and silver have always been important, because they exist as money, a form of hard money, outside of any system. You can use it anywhere. It's recognized as, oh yes, I'll take that as a form of value, please. I will sell you something, give you something what I have if you give me some of that. That's why it's so important, because the government can collapse and it doesn't matter. That money's still money, because it's money. It's real money. So yeah, I mean, and that's where cryptocurrency comes in, you know, the solid cryptocurrencies, the proof of work cryptocurrencies, because those fulfill the same need as gold and silver in the digital world. And so you've got a gold, you've got a silver, you know, you got Bitcoin, you got Litecoin. There's other coins like DigiByte, like Dogecoin even. I mean, you've got these proof of work coins that can't just make them up. There's a fixed supply. I mean, it's coded. We know how many there are and how many there ever can be and how many can be produced. And it's a diminishing return as you go forward. So if you have it now, you're winning in the future. You just don't realize it yet. Because as more people come in and realize that, oh my gosh, this is something I can use. Oh my gosh, this has privacy on chain. People can't see what I'm doing. It's like digital cash. That's pretty cool. Litecoin. When you understand that, when more people come to understand that, then that supply that's limited, more people want to get that. And it becomes scarcer and scarcer throughout time going forward, because there's less and less of them being brought onto the market. So what's on the market, what's been created, mined, are going to be much more valuable. And it comes down to, there will become a free market of exchange, because it won't be based in dollars or anything. Hey, what can I get for one Litecoin? You know, well, it's just like, what can I get for one Bitcoin? 2010, you could get 2 pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoin. Papa John's pizza. I think it was Papa John's. And, you know, so 2 Bitcoin, or 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 pizzas. Because that's what it was worth. You know, it's like taking 10,000 DigiByte right now and buying 2 pizzas, which actually that'd probably be too expensive. I mean, think of that. 10,000 DigiByte today, I think you can get more than 2 pizzas. What would be 10,000 DigiByte be, like $68 or something? If I'm doing my math right, the zeros. Yeah, so $68. 10,000 DigiByte right now. $68. Those are 2 big fat pizzas, like from the Peoria Pizza Works. You can get 2 pizzas, but we're not talking Papa John's thin, nothing. You'd get 2 deep dish Chicago pizzas for $68 for 10,000 DigiByte today. I mean, look what 10,000 Bitcoin did in this 13-year period to now. I mean, 13 years from now, what's DigiByte going to be? You're going to look back and say, you spent 10,000 DigiByte on 2 fat pizzas? Are you crazy? It only takes 1 to buy it now. If that. Just like Bitcoin, how many 2 pizzas? I mean, what is that? 0.0000, you know, I mean, how many fractions of a Bitcoin can you get 2 pizzas with now? I mean, but that's what happens over time when people understand the value of it, when they realize they can hold sound money in their possession and use it anytime they want outside of a financial institution, no interference, peer-to-peer, me to you, you to me, exchange value. When people realize that, that's what happens. That's the analogy. I mean, your purchasing power will go up. It's not based in dollars or pizzas anymore. It's based in the asset itself and how valuable it is. What are you going to give me to give it to you? And as time goes on, it's like, well, I'm not even going to give you 1 Bitcoin. Well, I had 10,000 of them. I bought 2 pizzas. Now, you know, I wouldn't even, 1 Bitcoin. Well, you're going to have to give me a car. I mean, that's what happens. So when you see what these assets are and you understand it and you get your head around it, and you see the value of being able to transfer it when the government fails or fails to serve, or banks don't allow you to transfer your money anymore and they lock you in until you jump through a bunch of hoops and say, okay, yes, I'll enslave myself even further, with your CBDCs, your digital dollars, And yes, I will face scan everywhere I go. Yes, I will do whatever you tell me. Oh yes, you can have my blood sample. Oh yes, you can put this needle in me. I mean, if you want to go down that road, they're going to give you that road to go down. Or you can make the choice and say, no, I want to have an asset that I know, because based on history, it's done it, and the math tells me how many there are going to be and how many people there are in the world. And as more people start using it, I understand the value. Wow, I can get that right now. Put that in my pocket. Lock it up. Have it in your possession. So when things fall apart and when tyranny comes, at least you've got an option. At least you got a way out. At least you've got an alternative method. And don't base it in the dollar, because it's not going to matter. It's going to be like 2 pizzas. You know, how much is that going to cost you? I'll shave a little bit off, and, you know, I'll buy all of them. Buy everybody pizza. Pizza's for everybody. You get a pizza. You get a pizza. You get a pizza. I mean, it's the kind of world we're living in. Understand the math of these things. And more importantly, understand what power it brings you to be able to hold it in your possession and use it anytime you want. Banks are closed on the weekend. Oh, we had an event. Yeah, ATMs don't work. Yeah, none of that stuff. But your crypto still works. Well, we had an EMP in the United States. Well, good luck transacting value. But the thing is, your crypto's still running. It's still secured by the blockchain somewhere else, or by that one computer here in the US and the thousands of computers around the world that are still running. So it's an important thing to understand. You know, a centralized bank can get attacked. You know, the government can get attacked centrally and shut down things and make it impossible to do certain things technologically. False flag. Or you can have a decentralized network where you get computers distributed all over the world doing the same thing, validating the same code, validating the same transactions. And so if one country goes down and there's nothing left as far as that network is concerned, the rest of the network keeps running all around the world, or wherever you got electricity. You know, it could be anywhere, any kind of electricity, any kind of power to run that equipment, to run that computer. And so that blockchain continues to run. Your coins are still out there protected by the blockchain. Well, my phone got destroyed. No, it doesn't matter. You got your seed phrase written down, which is your private key. If you have that, you can restore that on any electronic device anywhere in the world and just reconnect to that network that's distributed, running all over the world. So you got value anywhere you go. And it's like, well, you know, I want to get some gold. I want to get some silver with it. No problem. You can restore it, and it's a liquid money. I mean, Litecoin, I can use that anywhere in the world. Every ATM has Litecoin on it. Crypto ATM. All the exchanges have Litecoin on it. People will take Litecoin for your silver. You can do it right now. Big places, AppMex, JM Bullion, big dealers. You know, there's other ones. I mean, all over. They'll take your crypto. You'll make a deal. It's like, okay, yeah, can I pay you in crypto? Yeah, sure. It's money. Works. Sound money for the digital age. Litecoin. All right, yeah, and I hate to say enjoy the show. I mean, it's so cliche anymore, and it's so horrific because there have been some bad things that happen in this show. I mean, the casualties that, you know, are occurring as this thing plays out, you know, it gets to you. But when you step back and look at it, it's like, yeah, this whole thing is just a show to awaken people to see what's really going on, and the corruption and how things have gotten out of control, how bad things really are, and putting it right into the front of our faces. Whereas a lot of this happened covertly behind the scenes. We really didn't have a lot of news, but now I think everything's out in the forefront. We can see it. We can really internalize it and make our own decisions as far as, you know, what world we want to live in. Do we want to continue participating in a world of corruption where we are just voluntary slaves and, you know, just keep playing in the vampire casino? Or do we want to exit it and find different ways out of it and say, I'm not going to feed this thing anymore. I don't want to be the energy source for you vampires. So I'm getting out. And so it's our choice. You know, it's the Matrix thing. Are you taking the red pill or the blue pill? You know, which pill are you going to take? I'd rather know the truth so that I can make decisions on my own. And I don't want to live in a world of illusion. I just don't. I'm tired of it. And I think there are a lot of people out there thinking the same way. In the magic show, I'm tired of watching the rabbit getting pulled out of the hat. I'm tired of being deceived. Lady gets cut in half. Problem is people are getting cut in half now. It's real magic. Well, let's end this show. I'm tired of it. All right. Hope you have a wonderful Friday. Check out Happy Hour. Man, it's going to be hot again today. I don't know. I'm sweating already. It's ridiculous. Like a freaking Sasquatch. I'll be out there drinking, probably pass out. Didn't pass out last night, but man, I felt like I wanted to. It's like, wow, the heat started getting to me. So I'll probably have to take it easy tonight on Happy Hour. All right, tune in for Happy Hour. Supposed to be at 4 o'clock Central Time. It may be a little bit late. Some things are going on, and we'll see. It'll be, just put notifications on for Litecoin Lisa's channel. It'll be simulcast here, but the chat's over on her channel. That's where everybody hops in. So go to Litecoin Lisa's channel. Put the notification bell on, get notified when she goes live tonight on Happy Hour. Typically 4 o'clock Central Time. Like I said, it might be a little bit later. Hope to see you there. We'll talk about all this stuff. There's no shortage of things to talk about. Got a long list. All right. Love you all. Have a wonderful Friday. Do not trust vampires. All they want is your energy. Don't give it to them. Trust yourself and get out of that casino. All right. Love you all. Happy Friday.